I am so happy to announce that CameronSaaiman.com, our website, is now up and running. So make sure to go to the website and subscribe to our newsletter to stand a chance to win a limited edition MSP cap. We'll also be doing monthly giveaways such as limited edition fight posters, fight kits, cash prizes, and also Pokerbet vouchers. So make sure to go to the website right now. Visit the link in our bio. I'm very happy to announce that my guest today is one of the best human beings on this planet. He goes by many names: Dricus Du Donuts, Wish Dricus, Brandewyn Dricus, but he's really behind the scenes. He is a multiple judo champion, a professional fighter, and he is Dricus Du Plessis' brother, Niel Du Plessis.
Cameron Saaiman, ladies and gentlemen. Cameron Saaiman taking care of business. Wow. That look says it all.
Before we get into this episode, I just want to tell you that this episode is brought to you by Pokerbet.co.za, South Africa's leading sports betting and poker betting platform. So make sure to visit the link in our bio, create an account, and enjoy countless games and fun giveaways. So make sure to go follow them on social media as well. But thank you, Pokerbet, for another episode of the MSP show. Enjoy. I think what all the fans want to know is, will you fight Israel Adesanya's brother?
I will definitely fight his brother. I'll definitely fight his brother. I'll kill him definitely.
Because in the build-up, I don't think we chatted we have like a WhatsApp group as well, and I think we were very excited for Dricus's fight, but just seeing the amount of things coming through because of your embedded episode. How did you feel when that happened?
It's so crazy. There's a lot of things that Dricus is fighting for a world title.
Yeah.
And the internet takes the time to give me shit. That's hilarious.
Yeah, because off camera we explained as well, like Barstool is a massive sports and entertainment company as a whole. They have like so many podcasts, they have like divisions for different types of sports. And then the one guy still made the time to chat about your genetics.
Yes. Yeah, it's a hilarious video. It's awful. Like, it's such bad manners, but it's hilarious. That's the internet, man. I just, like, one Sunday morning I woke up, that was the first meme, that the one that said, how you look on not Twitter, the dating one.
Oh yeah, on Tinder.
Tinder, yes. Like the joke was that the way you look on Tinder, the way you look in real life. They took my picture, my actual weighing picture from welterweight days. And I'm like, yes, that's not actually bad. That's a nice picture. Thank you. But you're still mocking me. It's very bad news for me.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure, because you're a lawyer as well, so that's
well, that's it. Yeah, I can imagine someone's like seeing that before court. Like, I don't think, luckily, like it's the big MMA fans that'll get that stuff. But I must say, there's a lot of people that send it to me. It's hilarious. But it's good jokes. It's fine.
Great. I think my favorite one out of the bunch was the flirting, and then it's the picture of your brother, and then harassment.
See, that was bad. That is hilarious. My secretary came to me and she said, like, listen, you obviously know, because I'm not that like that traverse in social media.
Yeah.
And she's like, right? And I said, yes, I do know. Like, they're mocking me. And she's like, well, here's another couple of, like, this is what my friends had sent me.
Yeah, and almost creating like a mood board.
Yeah, and I'm like, yes, see. That's bad, but it's funny.
Yeah, it was funny. Just chat about your experience. Obviously, it was so cool to see you get to walk out with your brother, and VSC, your older brother, being there as well, and your dad in the stands. Just chat about, how was fight week? How was Dricus? How was that whole experience?
Yes, it was such a cool experience. It was for me, like, I've been to a lot of fights and you've seen a lot of things. This specific like camp or the fight week was so cool. It's I would always, I don't know if like the viewers know this, but the week before a fight, you're mostly there with the entire rest of the team, as you know.
Yeah.
So like, usually to me it's a great week, because everybody's like just wants to get away from the crazy fighters.
Yeah.
And they just want to go have a beer and stuff. So you meet a lot of cool people. Like, when we were there now, like we speak to we spoke to a lot of their teammates, and their coaches and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's cool when you see it like that. It remains, even though it's a UFC.
Yes.
It's not that much different from let's say a local kickboxing competition.
Yeah, because the
like
guys
this-
are like prepping and weighing in and sleeping a lot, and then the teammates can go run
Yeah.
amok in the town. So
exactly.
yeah.
And then like as always, there's like little like grappling competitions being organized
Cool.
and like sparring sessions. We had a couple of sparring sessions this time.
That's
He
sick.
had a sparring session against someone.
Awesome.
Like as you know, usually you're there and you have a couple of beers and someone from the other team says, like, we've got this guy that grapple, and obviously, coach, you would go like, well, this guy can grapple. And
Yeah.
then before you know it, there's like,
He's setting up fights.
there's like a fight set up. It's so cool. It's very cool to me that it's a small local tournament mindset, and it's a gander gets carried over
That's cool.
to the UFC. It's just now a lot of people watching and stuff, and it's a great week. We had everybody that went with us from South Africa that was there by whatever means. Like there was a group of, let's say, 30 people.
Yeah, there were a lot. Yeah.
That we all like were there together at a lunch and like drinks and stuff together, and it was all of those people were so nice. Everyone was like bought into the vibe so much. It was so nice. After that media conference, everybody went crazy. Like then the vibe is lit. Then everyone knows now it's
it's fight
you
time.
just get into in Canada. Everybody not sure what we're doing here.
Yeah.
And as soon as you see that like the presser,
Yeah.
then it becomes real.
It becomes real.
And
Yeah.
That's also like the moment you'll see, like, as you know, where you see like Dricus being not in the talking shit
Yes.
mindset anymore. You
Yeah.
can see he's like ready to go, because
Yeah.
that's when you're like, ready to fight.
Yeah.
You wanted to fight like the previous Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's always so cool to
100%.
see like the intensity with those stares and stuff. Like no one's joking there anymore. You're really looking to see what's going on in his eyes, and it's very cool.
And yeah, this is also not the first time that you've walked out with Dricus, and I'm pretty sure it's very easy to spot you because you're the only one smiling ear to ear from the walkout, from the song starting till the fight ending. So
You just asked me about my parents being there. It was so funny. So we are Afrikaans, we're quite like, let's say, loud people. So I didn't see my mom and dad like cry that often in my life. Like, we've definitely made our mom cry. We're 3 brothers. I've definitely made my mom cry in my life. So I'm sorry about that. But as I walked out, I was looking at them, and they were like, the tears were streaming down their face. And it wasn't like about excitement or stress. It's a very big event for a lot of people to come and see
100%.
how your son is gonna fight against Sean Strickland. He's a killer.
Yeah, definitely.
I can imagine as a parent that must be that's a tough ask.
Yeah.
So when I was looking at them, I'm having a ball. I'm so excited. I can't wait. He's finally gonna like show everybody now that he's that good. And so I'm excited for it. I'm looking at them like crying, and I was pointing behind it because I wanted to point at them and like,
Just laughing.
like, seeing you cry. But it was so cool. Obviously, like, again, my parents don't really like being there from their perspective. You can think it's a tough ask.
It's nerve-wracking,
Yeah, it's a lot of, and it's, I mean, if you go there, you go stay in the hotel for 2 or 3 days. The only thing you're thinking about is, like, I presume from their point of view, is my son's going to go into that cage against that guy.
Yeah.
There's definitely no way he's not getting punched at all.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so it's, I think it was very cool seeing them, and obviously Dricus winning the belt. It was such a great experience. Did you cry?
Yeah, I was. So firstly, when we were watching the fights, we were sitting at home. We didn't go to the watch party, and I wasn't in the mood for someone explaining to me why rounds are like this and scored like that. So it was just, we were sitting at home and we were watching the fights. And then when the final bell rang, I got so emotional, and I told Larisse, I was like, he's a world champion. Like, it wasn't a close decision for me at all, actually, to be honest. I was like, he's a world champion. He's a world champion. And I really got emotional because it's a lifetime of work. It's the amount of camps he's been through, the adversity, the injuries, the everything. It's insane.
As soon as you won, then you realize, listen, everyone crying like that. This is big. This is huge. This is such. It's bigger than imagination. It's huge. and he made that come to fruition. Like he's a little boy from Africa that just had a dream. It's crazy. Like it's in my like the amount of self-determination, respect. Like you guys are like thought out a stupid dream and you followed and made it happen, and now it's like the best decision ever.
Yeah,
but you can understand and like.
Yeah,
you can also be considered very stupid.
I explained that to someone yesterday. I told him like, thank the man above that I was stupid and naive enough to be like, yeah, I can do this. Yeah, this is easy. Let me try.
Exactly. That's the thing. Me and Dricus were speaking the other day. Conrad, and we were saying, listen, it's such a big. Just to get it is by just in the sport itself. If you're from America and you did it, you won a title. It's a big deal. Like you're the best in the world. It's the Olympics of fighting, and it's every weekend. You just don't have to be the best in 4 years. You have to maintain. And there's obviously like levels to champions, and which is getting like the amount of difference between different levels of champions is becoming smaller and smaller
100%.
because the sport's just developing so quickly. Yeah. So if you think about like saying that I want to be the best from Africa, fighting at the EFC, going to KSW, there were so many opportunities like to fumble the ball.
Yes, 100%.
There's so many opportunities to fumble the ball.
Yeah.
As you know, like one stupid training session, I don't know, there's such a lot of risks. And if you think about the amount of pro fighters that said before he fought that he can't win, and I'm like, yes, listen, it's not like unfounded arguments that they are presenting, but
like the stuff makes sense, but also
you don't know what we know.
Exactly. That's also it's been beaten to death. That saying.
Sorry,
but yeah, I think that's the fun part as well. I think that's also why your parents got so emotional. It's like they have a better extent. Like a lot of fight fans only get to see the 15 or 25 minutes inside the cage, maybe see some training footage, but not the daily consistency, the adversity, where I think with your parents, it's they have like this whole movie and a bunch of scenes of him winning the WACA World Championships, him transitioning to MMA, him making his pro debut, all that. And then you go through that and you imagine just how much shit he had to go through to get to this point. And then that moment is insane.
Yes, it is great. That's the weird thing. Like I don't not cry. Like I'm not saying that it was just so. After the decision, it's a very high intensity moment. Obviously, when you like it's a decision. And Dricus came to me and we spoke, and he went back, and I was looking at it. And it just felt to me like a no decision. Like Dricus just won the world. I assumed it 100%. I didn't think it was.
Yeah.
That.
Also, I didn't wonder it once.
I think Bruce Buffer said, and for a minute, it felt like a minute. That he said, and.
That gap.
And yes, that was.
Said it.
that was quite cool. Yeah. And then when he got it, where the first time I really like sat down and realized how big this moment is, because I was looking at from another perspective. I was looking at Dricus while they were in Cape Town. Yes, we had a lovely reception. They came, like the people were so the mindset, which was so cool, was that like it's a South African thing. We like thank you for bringing it to Cape Town and like, South Africa, and it's great. Like there was a very positive, like emotional energy in Cape Town. Like Victoria, the vibes like, yes, our boyki, like we did it, and we're going. It's like it's all clear, you know.
Yeah,
like,
it's proper patriotic as well. And you also mentioned like the Cape Town fans are like super knowledgeable of the sport as well. They like have an in-depth. They want to know they have technical questions, not just, hey, can I hold your belt, please?
No, that's very cool. And it's like while we were there, he was speaking to the crowd, and he said like he was just talking like fighters. Like, everybody's riled up. Like you know how Dricus is when he's riled up. And he's going crazy. I don't know what he's yelling on the mic. And as they're asking questions, he said like, listen, this is for South Africa. The conclusion was that, listen, it's been my dream when I was a little lighty, or when I was thinking like about myself and my dream. Like you want to be famous, you want these fights, you want all that stuff. But soon you realize that, like as soon as it happens, and you realize, listen, I'm representing my country. there's no formal like badge someone gives you. You're representing the country.
Yeah.
That entire South Africa is watching you, and like that's a big responsibility.
And all of a sudden, it's much bigger than yourself as well.
Yes, because everybody's there. Like everybody wants, like everybody's saying that you're going to win. No, you're not going to embarrass them on the internet. And it was so cool the way. And he said to them like, listen, when you train, when you fight, like the first 3 rounds, it's easy to like first 3 rounds carries you through it with your own selfish needs.
Yeah.
But round 4 and 5, then you need something bigger than yourself. You need something, and like knowing that it's for the country and everybody's like awake and crying and yelling, and you've seen the videos, people yelling at their children, at their dogs. It's crazy the stuff you see, because people get so excited for sports, and then saying like, and he said to them like, listen, round 4 and 5, that's what gets me going, and like, listen, everybody's there, everybody's watching. Like, 5 more minutes, 10 more minutes. That's like I can give this, and I think, and I thought to myself, that's when I cried. I saw it and I'm like, yes, that's so cool. That's so true. Like
100%.
Like
and you could see that in the fight as well.
Yes,
It was, and I think the gas tank thing was every person with a mic was asking, okay, will his gas tank hold, you know? And everyone that can type a message was asking that on Facebook or whatever. But, and he got to show that in that fight, you know, it was, I think game planning wise, picture perfect, the way he wanted to fight, putting Strickland on his back foot the whole time, which Strickland actually does very well. I think that's what won him his belt against Adesanya. And just that cage control, that dominance in that was amazing. So how was the celebrations afterwards in Canada? It was quite cold. I saw some of the videos.
Yes, but like when you're in Canada and America, it's cold. Again, I don't know if everybody knows this. It's every time a shock to me when I go overseas that like people be in normal, like reasonably summer clothes if they're in a building and like it's celebration week. You're mostly like going from place to place, like having something to eat, having something to drink, going looking at some entertaining stuff. You know, like it's mostly indoors, so you don't like the cold didn't really bother us that much, which was very cool about this trip. Obviously, let's say before we started the celebration week, you can imagine while we're there, Mark just getting his fight.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yes, that was amazing. So everybody's like, gets the fight, and there's this like lingering excitement, and then Mark gets this like short notice fight. So there's more fighting. Everybody that's there is like, yes, let's go. And you can imagine how Mark won his fight. So everybody's like, just.
I heard his fight was in a type of nightclub, but they say it's insane.
I wasn't at the fight itself. We were watching it on the phone. Me and Radio and Conrad, we were watching, and BS, we were watching it together. And it was such a. Could you see the fight?
I watched the fight,
Yes, what a clinical performance.
Mate, it's dominance from start to finish.
The heartbreaking thing is because all you fighters are stupid. So he came back, and I watched the fight the next morning, and I respect this. He was really like, I could see he's not that happy with his performance. And I'm thinking, yes, that's a 10 out of 10 clinical performance. I saw it. Like I could see that other guy is tough as nails.
It's hard.
Like he's a very hard, there's nothing taken away from him, but Mark had to control all the time, and I know how it is. Mark fights like that. Like he's a very controlling fighter. And I said to him, yes, that he felt like embarrassed to some extent that he didn't finish his fight, and I'm like, yes, Mark.
He's always super hard on
himself. He's a good opponent, and it's because obviously I think that Dana and Matsera and them were there watching. Then you're gonna want to get a finish. So, but yes, I can't. Like I told him, so you can't not be happy with a 10 out of 10 performance.
100%.
There's something you can go change and but
I think that comes back to the coaching structure, and I think Coach Mornay Visser has brainwashed us in this few years. Like, if you don't get a finish, then you're a cock.
It's always been like a bit. But if you think about it, I think it's like that's what of all the things the UFC could say. Like remember in when you're still watching the Ultimate Fighter and stuff. It's so crazy, you and Dricus being UFC fighters. Like, if you think about it, the one thing that it says before they walk out, they always used to say, don't leave it in the hands of the judges.
Yes,
And of all the things they could say about blood, sweat, respect, tears, whatever all the important things they could have said, they are saying that. I think it's like that's fundamental to MMA, is that you have to understand that you're not here to win decisions, and especially the entertainment aspect of the UFC is like, listen, you've seen a lot of guys that, let's say, had a subpar performance or whatever, but or that like they didn't look good at something, but then they just make it a dog fight.
Yeah.
And the UFC loves it. So and I love that aspect is to say, listen, whether you're having a tough time, whatever,
Yeah.
like throw down.
Yeah, I'm behind 2 rounds.
Yeah.
Might as well try and knock him out in this third.
Yeah. So again, it's such a crazy your job is it's such a crazy thing. Like, whatever you do can be justified as long as you win your fights.
Yeah, 100%. Definitely. What did you think afterwards? Obviously, Strickland got a massive following in a very short amount of time. I think for a lot of polarizing comments and stuff like that. Now after the fight, there was now a complaint about a headbutt that made the cut. You see all these fans saying like, no, it's a robbery, which is a very strong word to use, I think, because Dricus definitely won that fight. What goes through your brain when you see all these experts, ex-fighters, stuff like that, like guys like Demetrius Johnson, the godfather of MMA, Chael Sonnen, saying, listen, Dricus won that fight outright, and then you see the public having their type of opinions. What do you think about that?
Well, I must say this. I don't really... I've seen amazing shows insofar as fight analytics and stuff go. But obviously, the most of the comments that I checked was like Enis Cejudo, John Jones, Chael himself.
Yeah.
If all of them said, listen, we were just as excited. It's we get the fuss, but if you go look at it and you follow the general consensus on what the rules currently are, then like Dricus had a 4-1 win, and I'll stick to that. So and also the first round, I'm saying like I do give it like as a matter of being fair.
Yes.
Because the rest of the round Dricus won, it was more aggressive, like dominance, whatever. And the same, like the one thing John Jones said, if I remember his tweet correctly, was to say that you can't win you can't defend a world title in MMA with just a jab, and that's actually the best. That's the best summation of why Dricus won by far, because he was doing MMA every round.
Yeah. I think the opinion of the significant strike, I think people hammered on the jab as well. And then I would love to show people, like, let me jab you in the nose and let me kick you in the body. And you tell me which one is more significant.
It's crazy. But listen, but before, now all of this happened, like this scene, listen, I think Sean is a cool guy.
Yeah.
I think he's a cool guy.
Definitely. So we've actually met him in the PI as well. He rocks up there with, I think like a Elantra, and he's just like, what's up? He's like chatting to everyone and chatting shit. He asked Mark, do you want to spar?
Like, the thing is just if you're constantly under the cameras or social media and you're participating, there's no way you can go bulletproof without something being like thrown out of context. He says controversial stuff, and it's cool, man. He's a fighter. He can like that's the way they are. That's why people, I believe, find it entertaining, is because you get this. I saw somebody saying it the other day. Like that's where you get like MMA remains this place where you can be yourself, because you're not you're representing your country, but not representing like their good graces and like you're there to fight. You're a fighter. MMA fighters, like like MMA fighters, not 100% normal standard people. So it's cool in that. So that, like you don't require that from them.
Yeah, definitely. And now, after the fights, coming back, and you mentioned the Bell Tour in Cape Town and Pretoria, what do you think, as Dricus's brother, what do you think happens now?
Yes, I'm hoping, like, listen, I'm thinking that we can obviously say that the easy fight will be the coolest, biggest fight. I don't know, obviously, what's his need to fight in Africa, what's his opinion on, like, listen, I want to fight in Africa. It's a big deal to me also emotionally, like being the first fight in Africa. And so if that could happen, that would obviously be the, but just think how cool that is.
Yeah.
Now that's just
be amazing.
Like going a dream, like impressing himself. Is it like the UFC coming to South Africa? Just think about it. Yes.
Just being, you'll single-handedly be the person to bring it here.
Yes.
It's insane.
That'll be
because
so cool.
like the UFC is also, we said it before, but they're like a very high performing circus.
Yes.
Like when they travel travel with their staff. It's like 300 Americans, 300 guys that are employed by the UFC, and then they just make stuff happen.
It's crazy.
So.
Like, you know how it looks backstage. Like when you see a company running like that, everything is
Yeah.
so smooth and everybody knows exactly. I think if you had to dare them,
Yeah.
they'd be able to put it up, like set it up in 10 days.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
they'll definitely be able
and
to.
they'll sell out every single time.
Yes, right, that's it. But just think how cool that would be. Like all the celebrities coming to South Africa, taking some precaution.
Yeah.
Like everybody comes to South Africa, you know, like Thriller Manila.
Yeah.
Like
Very similar.
MMA is, well, obviously against him. Like there's obviously controversy regarding his opinion, but I think like there's a lot of more people, especially now after the fight, you and Dricus fighting. Like you get Afrikaans people, like the entire world, like starting to watch. The way it was always with boxing, like you know what's going on. This guy's winning. This guy, or you at least knows like about 2 or 3 names. Whether you've been participated in boxing or anything ever, like you kind of know what's going on in MMA because people know who Conor McGregor is. People know how this.
It is fun because we chatted about it at the Bell Tour. Like fans are getting educated.
Yeah,
they know what's.
It's awesome.
It's so sick. And then as a fight fan, you can be like, we don't have to just chat about. Let's chat fights.
Yeah. Mostly when you do meet, when Dricus wasn't in the UFC yet, and you would get a lot of obviously people that come and take pictures and stuff with him, and you like and there you get someone that they really don't want to talk to him about him. They want to talk about fighting because I don't know. It's like there's a selective few people that has got the ability to talk about fighting on a again, the more you know, the better it gets.
100%.
We spend a lot of time. We've watched how many years of UFC content. So when you speak to someone, you know that they know what they're talking about. It's not just what do you call it, casual.
Yeah.
It's like that's your friend for the night. You're sticking with him. That's a nice conversation because it's the most of the people in South Africa are still very young to the knowledge of fighting. So still get people that say ridiculous stuff.
I always love the comments. Is it like karate? That's always. It's like,
how does it work?
Yeah.
How does it work?
How does it work? Now, also with your fighting career, because you also had amazing fights, and now you have a full-time job. You are also very busy. You have your own practice, your own law firm, and is it hard to balance like the training and the full-time actual job that you have?
Yeah, well, there's definitely okay. So there's levels of fighting.
Yeah,
there's levels of training. There's levels to this game on every level. So I think if you want to have the mindset that you want to be a EFC champion or the best in Africa, I think it's definitely if you approach it correctly, you can definitely make both happen. There's no doubt about it. But in order to go to the next level, like you and Dricus, like if you're only going to be a pro fighter let's say at the pace of both jobs, I don't think you will be able to take it to an actual international competitive level.
Yeah,
and again, like that's it takes a lot of you know you're a fighter yourself. It takes, in order for you to be the best that you can be there, takes a lot of like doing 2-3 hours a day. That is probably enough. But you know what you actually give. You give 8-9 hours a day. You give 24 hours, 7 days a week, mental. Like let's say, pay attention to your mental thinking. You spend time on like mental exercise and that entire thought process. You can't switch that off for the time being if you want to become like a world champion. Like in the UFC or in like any other competitive organization. Like you have to sacrifice yourself for the sport. There's 100%. no otherwise. Listen, I love fighting. I love training fighting. When you train with the team and everything. The worst part about fighting is obviously the diet, and it's part and parcel. So you can't have the one without the other. So it's like that's the difficult part. Is like lifestyle.
We've had some great chats about like foods, snacks, post fights. What do you think of tinkies? Like we've had some in-depth, very long discussions.
Do you think? well, it's actually a stupid question if you think about the amount of like fighting organizations that do not taste. But like, do you think there's ever going to be like MMA at the Olympics, like this new one with the juice?
So there's like $1 billion there funding the advanced games.
Just think, if you open that organization, I promise you, I'll quit my job. I'll go and do that, because then you can just EPO and live your life the way you want to, and just go and train. The training part's fun part. That's fine. Like that we can do. But if you've got the performance, I think yes, that must be entertaining.
100%. And that's where you're gonna find Israel Adesanya's brother.
Yes, I'll see you there. Yes, that'll be cool. Hey, listen, I don't want to quote Facebook articles as resources. But I saw Afis is the first school to accept jiu-jitsu as an official sport.
If that's true, that's amazing.
I'm so happy
because that would really transform the development of that.
I think I saw that in a news article. Like I don't know if it's true again.
Yeah.
But if that's true, high five.
Yeah, definitely.
High five
if they did that, because a lot of the schools, especially in South Africa, they actually get in wrestling coaches to help with the like rugby programs and stuff like that. So hopefully they see the benefits of martial arts in schools as well.
Listen, you remember Attila that used to coach the wrestling? I know he at some stage also helped at the Lions.
Yeah.
So there's no way that any rugby coach sees wrestlers doing what they're doing and do not go immediately.
Yeah.
Like,
well, Etienne Reineke, he helped, I think he helped Monument. He also helped them in their wrestling program.
I can imagine. Listen,
Steph also has worked with the Bulls before. So
a funny story about wrestling and rugby.
Yeah.
Do you know what Adam Speechley played in high school?
No.
He played prop. Adam Speechley.
What's Adam?
Adam Speechley, bro.
That is insane.
He played prop. So he invites me one day when we were training. He says, "Listen, do you still play rugby?" I said, "Listen, I haven't played since I started fighting.
Yeah.
But yes, I would love it. Like, is it like a club rugby? What's the story?" He goes, "No, he's playing for Bit's medical team, and they are playing against the Scottish touring team.
Yeah.
Can I please come and help out? They need like 2 or 3 more
players."
And I said, "Listen, yes, I'm down. Like I'm good. I'm fine. I'll play. I'll be the flank." And he goes and he says, and he's like, "Okay, that's good. You'll be like dropping next to me."
Yeah.
Like, you weigh. I'm a lot bigger than you.
Yeah.
I'm double your size, and you're the prop. Listen, Cammy, you know how he wrestles.
Yeah.
I promise you.
He's so good.
He didn't give them a step. I promise you.
That's
with his wrestling skill, the way he cleaned, it was so crazy. He ran. Then the normal rugby stance, you're seeing like the ball is between your feet.
Yeah.
Then he runs. He goes as if though he's going to run into them.
Yeah.
And then they block. Then he pulls their head forward.
Oh, with his head pulls their leg.
No. So he runs as they block.
Yeah.
He like snaps them off. Then takes the ball up behind their legs and he pops it out. I'm like, that is brilliant.
That's awesome. Yeah.
That's brilliant.
I remember I didn't train with him quite a lot because when I came into the pro team, he was like almost going out. But the wrestling, the clinch exchanges were, and he's so fluid and so relaxed, and then all of a sudden,
exactly. That's the first time I really thought, because at that stage I was training, I didn't implement my wrestling to that extent in the way I clean and stuff like that. I wouldn't say call myself a cleaner. I tackle. I prefer tackling. But seeing how he cleans, how he was active just doing it, and I was thinking to myself, he's weighing at best 70 kgs.
Yeah.
And he's cleaning big guys. I can't imagine. And if someone like drops his base, he just picks the foot instead of like going forward. He just picks the foot.
So he's just working the short ways. He doesn't want to work hard.
I was so impressed. It was so cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now you actually came from open mat grappling.
Yeah.
And just before coming here, how's the grappling game going on? And are you gonna look to compete this year?
Definitely. I'm definitely going to compete again. The same thing is I can go roll every Saturday and Thursday. And the thing is, you need to spend time with jiu-jitsu also.
Yeah.
You need to spend time to improve yourself. You can maintain whatever you know, but you need to take active time mentally, physically to go and like do drills and stuff like that. So I know when I'm there, you can feel, okay, listen, like it's smaller guys, it's younger guys. They're not going to tap me, but I can feel every time I'm there,
the technique is getting.
I need to be awake.
Yeah.
Like someone they are coming for me. It's like a matter of time. So you have to spend time and get better and improve yourself. And that's that's the lacking part. Is it's so fun to go and roll.
Yeah.
It's not that fun to learn new stuff. Like it's a lot more fun to go and roll.
Yeah,
if you're there and someone says, "Hey, I want to roll," you're definitely not going to say, no, I'm here to do drills today.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I would quickly want to chat to you about the UFC coming up because we have a banger of a card. Let me get this
Yes.
here. Okay. UFC 298, and this is just the main card. But what a sick card we have here. Obviously, your brother's previous opponent, Robert Whittaker, just to mention quickly.
Can we
taking
start
on
at the
Paulo
bottom?
Costa. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Anthony Hernandez, Roman Kopylov.
I think it's a middleweight. That Roman Kopylov, I like him. Didn't
Yeah.
he start at light heavyweight?
I think he did. And then he dropped down to middle.
He's good. I think he's a good. Like
Yeah.
he's got like tough punches.
Yeah,
and he's
very
got a
hard.
good wrestling base.
Yeah.
That helps.
I think he has good defensive wrestling to try and knock you out. I think he has like 4 finishes now.
100%. It's very cool.
Yeah, Anthony Hernandez. Wasn't Dricus supposed to fight him way
Yes,
back?
that's the fight where he cancelled. Dricus cancelled during fight week so that
Yes.
he can fight Calvin Gastelum.
Gastelum, yes.
And then so they got Hernandez a new opponent.
Yes,
and
I
Dricus,
remember
and
that.
then Calvin, like the fight didn't happen.
Yeah,
So that was the guy should have fought.
yeah.
But again,
Yeah.
I think Roman takes him.
I
I
also
know
think Kopylov.
Anthony Hernandez is like he's a MMA, like it does everything good.
Yeah, he's
So,
pretty all round,
yeah.
but I do think Kopylov, I think he is super powerful for that weight. I
Yeah.
think he hits hard, and I do think he's going to clip him somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's my bets on Roman Kopylov. Who's your betting partner for the show?
Pokerbet.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah,
Nice. Because I'm saying, like, if you want to make the odds well,
Yeah.
everything I say go the opposite direction. I've never won any. I think I bet every weekend, and I've won like 7 times. But I enjoy it so much.
Okay, and now
That's a crazy fight.
Merabdashvili, Henry Cejudo, the battle of the gas tanks. I think in this fight, because both of them can really push the pace. I'm edging towards Cejudo just because of the fight IQ. Like, he has insane fight IQ.
Listen, Merab Dvalishvili, I can't imagine having to fight someone that's on you all that. Like he's very good at like creating that space and or closing the distance,
And
getting in,
smothering.
and
Yeah.
it's just there. Like if he shoots on you, you need to pay 100%. You need to give 100% what you stop 100% what you're doing and defend that takedown.
Yeah. Don't
So
try and land a
There's
sneaky
nothing.
shot.
There's nothing. You
Yeah.
need to get out of it. So and he's so good at it. Like, and he can throw. I like Henry Cejudo a lot. I think he's amazing. So in fighting, so it's a 3-rounder.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna get a finish.
But that's also the thing, Cejudo coming off semi-retirement. Is this a quick cash grab again? Is this
I
to
don't
make a
think-
run to the title again?
I don't think
It's-
Henry Cejudo will fight for if he's not like he's an
If he
Olympic
doesn't,
gold medalist.
Yeah.
He's a respected fighter. I think like he's one of the guys that will very like as soon as he thinks I need to call it, he'll call it. I don't. The same as with you and Dricus, like a loss, like knowing that you're not gonna like be in there to win
yeah,
just for the money. I don't think it's possible to buy
100%.
that from you.
yeah, definitely.
I
yeah,
think it's possible.
yeah. So who's your final prediction? If you have to gun against the head, if you have to go with someone.
Okay, I'm gonna say this is not a fair answer, but I'm gonna say I back Henry Cejudo. If it goes to decision, Merab.
Okay.
Dvalishvili, yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, that's very fair. Okay, cool. Jeff Neal versus Ian Gary.
Jeff Neal.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going Ian Gary. Yeah. Why Jeff Neal?
Listen, he's got so he's got flaws, but he's got very like hard, like
He's super tough.
his
yeah.
hands are heavy. So
And his fight with Shavkat Ragmanov, that was an insane fight. He missed weight, but it was still like he took damage in that fight. Yeah.
I think so Jeff Neal is a very like tough fighter for me. But I think if Ian Gary fought what his previous fight should have been.
He was supposed to fight
The Brazilian that remember we saw him when you and Dricus fought. He was warming up with us.
He was supposed to fight
The silent assassin.
Silent Assassin. Yes. Let me check.
Yeah.
He was supposed to fight.
I think that would have been an amazing fight. I haven't seen too much out of Ian. Like most of his fights have been like mostly stand up and stuff, and that's obviously Jeff Neal.
Yeah.
Like also, but I'm
Because he fought Neil Magny. No, was he supposed to fight Neil Magny?
no, the Neil Magny fought in Canada.
Let's check.
Vicente Luque.
Vicente Luque.
Yes.
Yeah, that would have been
A great fight.
Yeah.
I
I think I liked Vicente Luque in that fight, to be honest, because I've seen Vicente do just like basic sparring. Pads.
That's what I'm talking about. Remember when we were in the hotel, he was
in
warming
the
up,
hotel, yeah.
and I said, okay, no, like
I think coach
that's
was also
very
like,
good. I've always been a fan of,
Yeah.
like it's weird. I never see him go when you want to see him go. Like,
yeah.
I don't know if he's really the silent killer. He's like or silent assassin
Yeah.
because. You don't want that name again. You don't want to fight that guy.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's like
so there's
nobody makes a big scene like from at least from my point of view. Like nobody's making a big enough scene about how good he is.
Yeah,
like he's
really good.
He's amazing in stand up. He's amazing in grappling.
Yeah.
He's quite cool. I don't know. I know they say that Ian Gary is training is good at jiu-jitsu and stuff. And I've heard like that's what I know is that he's good at grappling.
Yeah, I think that's where Luque would have finished Gary. Is on the ground.
So
I think so.
So the reason why I'm backing Jeff Neal is I'm saying like he lands very hard punches, and Ian Gary, in my opinion, does tend to like take shots.
Yeah, he does chin up.
Yeah.
I think that's the Chinese guy that he fought also dropped him with like a sneaky small shot.
I don't think Jeff Neal is a guy that you can take 2 or 3 from.
Yeah, 100%.
Like you need to check every one.
I think Ian Gary is because he had a lot of backlash obviously on social media as well, and I do think he's going to look to prove something. I think a massive role is it looks like he found a little bit of a home at Shoot Box in Brazil, working with Charles Oliveira's team. So that's the only reason why I think Ian Gary can get it done. Do go for that pinpoint type of just piece him up, land the shots that he has to, and I think he'll get it done.
How long has he been with them?
I think he's been with them for a few months now.
Okay.
Yeah.
The thing is, as you know, like again, it's my opinion. To change your base fundamental way of thinking when you get tired in a fight, there's stress, there's shots, everything. I think at least I would say 3 fights.
Yeah,
under a new coach.
Definitely, yeah.
When you can actually start seeing it. Like that guy's that guy's training in a new gym. He's like his fundamentals because you're obviously going to back what got you in the first place. So that's again just my opinion, but I'm thinking you've seen that if you've got a bad habit and you're getting shots, everything if you come from wrestling, you're probably going to shoot.
Yeah, 100%.
If you come from kickboxing, you're probably going to throw a head kick.
Yeah.
If you're like every fighter has got his base, which his coach would say, stop doing that because you're doing it when you shouldn't, because it's just what you know.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking like that basic mindset, it doesn't change until you've like had 2 or 3 fights with that coach, and where you believe his system is better.
Yeah.
Like if you do it a couple of times in training, you'll take 2 or 3 like techniques from him.
Yeah.
And as soon as you realize in a fight, okay, this is working.
Yeah.
Like second fight, like 2 of the tricks I learned, like that landed.
But that's what also was quite weird of his camps. It was like he was bouncing quite a lot. He was at Sanford, Killcliff, and then he went to Thailand a little bit. So now he's in Brazil, and I've heard some stories and accusations of him not being very welcome in most gyms. You know, so,
I don't know. Like I don't know what his story is. I know he said like Dricus and Sean Strickland's fight was not cool. I don't like.
I watched the video. Yeah,
my man, there's a lot of better ways to get some clout. Like, there's better ways. Like you could have just said something ridiculous, but like that's just stupid. Like it was an awesome fight. But the thing is, I can imagine if I'm a full-time pro fighter, it would be nice for me to travel the world. Just recently got married, go and see the world, fight wherever you are. That's a cool. Remember when we were like when things were like more informal, we used to do it. Yeah. But I always believe like regard to like traveling around and fighting. Like my opinion is this. When we went to Tiger Muay Thai, always it was some of the best times we had was at going to Tiger Muay Thai, training there, and then when you get back, like coach obviously didn't go with us. Then we would be there for a month or like 2 months, and you'd have a jets coach and a wrestling coach, like 3 hours this, 3 hours that.
Yes.
It's just random people that's coaching you, but they're amazing at what they do.
Yeah.
So you get all this insightful
Yeah,
training.
it's a lot of knowledge in a short time.
Yes, and you're taking notes and videos and you're drilling. 'cause,
Sparring,
yeah,
testing yourself.
You're just there to like get knowledge in fighting.
That's cool.
I'd say the way we did it, I'd say I went there when I was still an amateur.
Yeah.
I went there, I did like 3 or 4 kickboxing competitions. Then the year I wanted to start MMA training, I went there for 2 months with Dricus because he was there. And it was, if I had to quantify it now in retrospect, I would say going there for 2 or 3 months was like the equivalent of 9-10 months worth of normal, like limited training.
That's
Because
insane. Yeah.
you're there, like there's nothing bothering you. You're just there for fighting.
Yeah.
You're just thinking about fighting everything.
That's literally one of the things. New Year, like a New Year's goal was have 3 fights, have 3 wins, and we have like certain books we want to read, and then it was go to Thailand this year, because I've also been like flirting with the idea for a few years now. I think someone in the group has to buy the tickets first, and then I believe everyone will go.
It's I promise you now, it's one of the for a fighter. There's nothing that you can do that's more fun than that. But what I wanted to say about it was, then we came back, and you've got all these cool tricks because you're rolling with jets guys and like learning jiu-jitsu tricks. Like people that's good at it, that's rolling all the time, and you learn some of their cool techniques, and you're going to use that. Then you, with the kickboxing, Muay Thai, same thing. Learn this trick, learn this, that jab. You learn stuff like that. Then when you come back, so listen, coach didn't buy into this entire thing. Like, listen, go and train your heart out. When you came back, now you've got all this, let's say, tricks in your fighting system. The way he quickly humbled you. And saying like what is stupid and not, like you can use that, you can't. And the requirement always from his side was land it in sparring, and we can start drilling it as part of your as your system. So that's to me, that's kind of sensible, because you're spending this time learning this trick, and you're taking away from your general base so much just to land this trick.
But that's cool, because you have all this knowledge, and now all coach is doing is funneling that.
I'm telling you what to actually incorporate. It's like, listen, do that. People are going to knock you like this, and this. You're risking this. Is like, if you can land it in sparring, then we don't have to argue about it. Then
it's fine.
Then it's done. Do it, and then it's part of your game, and I won't say anything.
Showtime kicks was always
very bad for the sparring partners.
Yeah, definitely. Robert Whittaker, Paulo Costa. Now, if I was a betting man, I would put like a few $100 on Paulo Costa not making the fight. Because that's I think, how many times has he pulled out in the last few years?
Yeah, it's very tough. Listen, if Paulo Costa enters the cage at his best, I think Robert Whittaker is an amazing fighter. I don't think he's got the ability to, like, it's a puncher chance. He can always, everybody, like, he's a very hard puncher. But
I'm backing
Robert
Rob
Whittaker any day, any day.
I'm backing Rob. I think he finishes this fight as well. I think it is a 3-rounder. But I don't think the long layoff, and I really can't see Paulo Costa winning him.
It'll just break
anything.
my heart. Do you think they've got a backup?
I'm sure they. Who though? Who in the middleweight division will take that fight?
Nobody will.
Yeah,
nobody should. It was so crazy to me that in the build up to the Strickland and Dricus fight. How people kind of started to discredit Robert Whittaker.
Yes.
I was like, listen, guys, I don't think you know. To me, like, I'm just a fanboy.
I do think MMA math fries people's brains, because if it doesn't make sense, then like, oh no, he's washed, or he's old, or something like that, which doesn't make sense. Maybe Cannonier, maybe he's in fight shape, ready to be a stand-in.
That makes sense.
And I'm pretty sure I think Paulo Costa is a high-risk pull-out fighter, so maybe they'll have a Cannonier there.
Whittaker and Cannonier isn't fought, right?
No, I don't think so. Yeah. So that's maybe, but I do think Rob gets it done. I think he gets a finish as well.
Yeah. And then Alexander Volkanovski, Ilia Topuria.
So
you say first. Let me
Okay. I'm backing Topuria, and I know I'm stupid. There's like a few guys you don't bet against. Edson Barbosa, you don't bet against him. Khabib, that was a mistake, betting against him a few times. And Volk, like, you shouldn't bet against him. And we've met Ilya. You've also met him, and we've seen him train at the PI, and we've seen their structures. It's scary. He's really good. Like, he is so good.
Listen, there's no way you can ever bet against Alexander Volkanovski. How many times have you lost your money?
Yeah.
I think I'll be so scared of what's outside in the world. It'll be like that big blue sea to me, like with all these sharks and stuff.
Yeah.
if Ilia Topuria does the same as Dricus did, he's come in from another country that's not known for fighters and fighting. Because that's the reality. When you do go to Thailand and stuff like that, you realize this, and there's other gyms, not the big brand stuff. That's like they've got something that they're doing. They've got some system, some jits technique, some thing that they're doing that's at a
not well known
international level that they'll
crazy.
take.
Yeah.
Like you see, there's other UFC guys, and we're still like amateurs and non-UFC. You kind of realize this, and there's guys that's got separate. Again, there's levels, but there's people that's got tricks.
Yeah.
I think if Ilia Topuria, like, let's face it, the hype train is with him.
Yeah.
I can never say, I'm not officially going to ever say again that I'm not backing Alexander Volkanovski.
Yeah. Because I've made that mistake a few times because I'm a hardcore Max Holloway fan. So I was like, every time, Max.
Listen, I think MMA is going to win.
100%. The fans are winning in that. This is a crazy card.
Yeah.
But I do think, what do you think of I don't know if you've seen this a lot because it's mostly on social media, but so Ilia Topuria, he's producing a show, a whole docu-series, El Matador, Road to the Championship. Like and he's changed his bio on Instagram being like 15-0, undefeated UFC world champion. What do you think of that?
Like, listen, again, like I said, you fighters are quite ridiculous. But it's listen, if he gets it, that's exactly what Dricus did. Dricus came in, knocked everybody. Yeah. And let's say if it's tough. Dricus fought someone that dethroned the current middleweight guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's a big kill.
Yeah.
But if you think about having all the amazing featherweight champions that there was, and you've got Volkanovski that did what he's done, which is it's a crazy record.
Yeah,
it's the opponents that he has fought, like Brian Ortega, that submission, everything. He's the best, one of the best champions that we've got by far. Like
his resume
it's impossible
scary.
To bet against him. Like that, this is one of the fights I would honestly say. Like, I'm backing the hype solely because the rhythm is in Topuria's favor. The rhythm is in his favor. But other than that, like, that's why I'm backing Topuria. But again, if Alexander Volkanovski wins, I'm going to feel like an idiot again.
Yeah. Every single time. Yeah. That's like a Barbosa fight as well.
That's crazy.
Like, duh, obviously. But yeah, the fans are winning with this. I think UFC, I think this is 299 if I'm not mistaken. 298. Yeah. UFC 300 is coming up as well. That's going to be a pretty big event, and hopefully we get to see UFC Africa.
Yes, that would be great.
This year.
That would be great. Yeah, like I said, when you're there, maybe yell it on the mic. Like, we dare the UFC to organize it in 10 days.
100%.
Yeah.
Uncle Dana.
Yes, I know. Like, I've seen their systems. I know for a fact if they, again, if you throw them a dare. If you get Dana on the camera and you throw him a dare, I think we will have a UFC before before July.
Definitely. But thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you for sharing the insights. It's really fun to see such a massive fight fan just getting to smile all the way to the UFC cage in a title fight for your brother, and it's awesome to see your support and your family's support. So thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, and congrats. Like, being here, it's very cool. Like, it's you've come a long way. Congratulations. It was fun. Thanks for having me.
This is fun. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode. If you have not subscribed yet, which most of you have not, please make sure to do that now. Leave a like, leave a comment, and if we try really hard, we can have Niel here fight Adesanya's brother as well. So leave your thoughts down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Cheers.